Hey guys, Josh here, also known as MightyPredaking, and we're going to go ahead and continue on with the Fall of Cybertron and Combaticon figures. This one's going to be over Brawl. If you don't know how we're going to do these videos, and you didn't see the Swindle one, we're just going to do them all individually. We'll do the transformation back and forth, we'll do articulation, we'll do size comparisons, and we'll even look at them compared to his G1 counterpart as well. Now, one thing that I did want to point out with this guy, we'll just kind of get a look at him, a little 360. Not a bad, decent figure. Now, he is back heavy, so that's something to, whenever you're posing him, your feet might look a little bit funny, but he will be able to stand in kind of a pose. Some of them aren't that great just because of the way his head turns, kind of like this, to where if you turn it to the side, he's basically kind of looking at his shoulder. So, yeah, that's something I guess to keep in mind. Now, his backpack, or we'll just say his backpack, but it's like his little tank from his tank mode. You could just kind of move it forward like this, and he's kind of got like a little extra battle, I guess, version or something like that. So, kind of cool. I think I like that. I would probably pose him that way. Let's get some size comparisons real quick. If we can get him to a pose that will stand. Well, I was talking about him being back heavy. So we'll kind of move him to the side over here, and we'll look at him with his G1 counterpart. So there is Brawl, G1. Obviously a lot of difference in size there, but part of the Scramble City Combiners, you know, G1, that's the way that they did them. So that's what we got back in the 80s, kids. So whenever you're talking about, oh, my figure's not as articulated as I would like, yeah, that's what you got. You know what you got for hands? Let me zoom that in a little bit. If it will. Yeah, that's the hand right there, okay? So I don't want to hear about my hands aren't articulated, because that's what we got. So, you know, a lot of improvement in the figures, but this figure does still suffer a little bit. Go ahead and, we'll keep them in. We'll do some size comparisons. There's Swindle that we just did, if you watched that video. Now, Swindle is a little bit taller than Brawl. If you looked at the head-to-head size, in the video game, this guy's actually a Titan, and this one's a Scout, I believe is what it's called. And it should be flip-flopped in size comparison. We got Transform Prime Megatron, and I don't know why he's posed like this. He's kind of like that dude that, you know, as soon as you're about to take the picture, he's like, hey, what's up? So, let's get him. He's falling over. We'll move Swindle, get Megatron, so huge difference here, but that's probably something that it should be a little bit more similar, the way that it looks. Swindle, I think, is just kind of a big figure on its own. Move him to the side. Now let's go over articulation. Go ahead and take his gun out. I want to make sure this is focused as well. There we go. As far as articulation goes, like I said, he can move his head all around. He can look up and, you know, down and stuff like that. You don't want to push him too far down, because part of the transformation, it's kind of like a little trap door. His head goes and fits down inside his chest. His arms, these can move back and forth like this and up and down here. He can move here. I guess he could do some little bodybuilder pose or something like that if you wanted to. But this can move up and down. It's on a ball joint here at the elbow, and his hand can flip in and out, but that's part of transformation. Get out of this stupid pose. And he does have some, I guess, hip. This is probably the worst hip articulation that I've ever seen. But if you can see that, the little black part right there just kind of swings back and forth just a little bit. Now his legs are just, my goodness, he's like a gymnast with his, he'd be a great cheerleader, Brawl would, the way he can move his legs. But these are on ball joints. They can obviously move all over the place because there's nothing really hindering him here. He can swivel here at the thigh, bend at the knee, and then his little foot, you know, can just kind of move all over the place if it wanted to. That's part of transformation. So let's go ahead and get this guy transformed. First thing we're going to do is straighten his head up a little bit. We'll go ahead and push down, and we'll pull down on this. There we go, that's down. Flip his feet in. I'll flip his hands in. And with these hands, they're just going to flip around and just connect like that. Flip this one around. And I'm just kind of pulling these down so I can get the legs in a little bit easier later. That's going to peg into that hole there, but we're not going to do it quite yet. You can go ahead and move this part down here. Oh, I never rotated those. It's not that big of a deal. In the directions they say whenever he's in robot mode to rotate them this way, and when he's in tank to rotate them that way, which I haven't seen the purpose of that. It hasn't made any sense, so I just keep them that way. Then you're going to rotate his legs to where the Bruticus, I guess, hands are, facing this way. And then you're going to rotate his legs, swing his legs on up like this, and they'll just fit up underneath like that. And then this part we're going to go ahead and peg that hole into the hole, and then all this will kind of just set together. There we go. There's that side. Go ahead and peg that in first, and then we can kind of get all that together. And then with this part, there's these two holes here. You can see that. And these two pegs. For some reason, this peg, I think I need to follow it down a little bit, but it's not getting there all the way. So I'm not going to mess with it for 30 minutes trying to fix it. Then his gun can fit in this hole up here. Whoops. There we go. Except for this back part not being that well. There is Brawl in his tank mode. So get a little 360 of him. He's got a little bit of paint apps on him, I guess you could say, but not really a whole lot. He's supposed to be green, and that looks nice with the purple and big thing sticking back there. But another little cool thing, same thing, with this tank, you can pull this up, which is part of him being his leg mode. But to where you can have the tank, I guess, at an angle, which kind of looks cool. Looks a little bit better than it just sitting flat like this, and But let's go ahead and look at him with his G1 counterpart real quick. The transformation on this guy is not as hard. Not that Brawl's is extremely difficult. Dude, move out of the way. Alright, so there he is with that guy. And you can kind of see, I guess, the similarities, differences, and stuff like that. So, not too bad. Alright, let's go ahead and look, or do the transformation back. And to get this gun out, I found the easiest way is just kind of pull up on this green part, then you can pull it out. Go ahead and push that back down. Do the transformation back, and then we will be done. So pull this part up here. Go ahead and flip this purple part around. Then with this, you unpeg and just kind of move those down. Unpeg this, move those down. You can swing out the legs. Go ahead and rotate those, and we'll pull the feet out here in a second. Then with the arms, kind of move those back into place. Just come down, swing that around. That's his elbow. There's his hand. Pull that down, swing it around. There's his hand. And then you kind of push up a little bit there with the waist. I mean, it just goes up a couple of millimeters. Then with the head, I want to make sure this is in focus. Okay, if you just pull the head back like that, you can see that it's still down in there. But if you push back on the head, see those two little green pegs on top of that black kind of trapdoor? Push it back, and now they're on top of them. So that's how you keep his head up. And then you just move it that way. And then move his feet down. And then if we can get him posed real quick, that'll be it. So there's Brawl, Follow Cybertron Combaticons, also known as the left leg. Yeah. So thanks for a lot for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hopefully you learned something, and we'll continue on with the other Combaticons. Thanks.